Welcome back to the online session of Sri Gokulam Public School, Vadakara. Dear children, good morning to everyone. How are you? What about you? Did you complete the notes? Okay? Are you safe at home now? Now this is the third stage of spreading the coronavirus. So be so alert. Stay at home. Protect by ourselves. Don't forget that. Okay? Then, did you remember what did we discuss the last class? Last class we started the new lesson. What is that? Okay, the socialism and the Russian Revolution. Clear? We can continue that. Okay? Yes. But last we discussed groups of people, they spread their ideas. Liberals, radicals and conservatives. What were the ideas followed by these three groups? Now we have to discuss about the coming of socialism to Europe. What is meant by socialism? Socialism means to earn the property and own the property by the society as a whole. Instead of concentrating the property in the hands of one person, they wanted to concentrate the property in the society as a whole. Listen, socialism is a vision of how the society want to be structured, how the society want to be designed. That is the socialism. Then it was a well-known body of ideas. Socialism, it was a well-known body of ideas that attracted widespread attention. Clear it? Then these socialist ideas that spread all over the world. Then socialists, they were against the private property. They believed that the roots of all social evils existed in the society at that time. That was the private property. So they turned against the private property. Socialists believed that the evils or the social ills existed at that time. The main reason that was what? The private property. Listen, and individuals owned the property and the workers, they wanted to do the hard work in the property. But the profit that was taken by the whom? The individuals. So the socialists turned against that. Clear it? The property owners, they worked for their welfare only. They did not give any importance for the welfare of the workers, those who made the invest as profit. The workers were forced to do the long hours work but not getting the good wages. Then so they believed that if society as a whole, they control the property and more attention would be then paid to the collective social interest. Listen, if the property was controlling by the society as a whole, more attention should be given to the workers or the social interest. And the socialists, they wanted this change and campaigned for it. What type of the change they wanted? Instead of concentrating property in the hands of individual, property should be owned by the society as a whole. You see the chart. What is socialism and what were the ideas spread by the socialists? And later their aim, that was cooperatives. They wanted to form the cooperatives. What is meant by cooperative? Cooperatives, they were the association of people who produced goods together. And whatever the profits they got, that they divided. That was cooperatives. Did you understand what is meant by cooperative? Cooperatives means then do the work together and divided the profits among the members. That is cooperatives. Clear it? Next, we can discuss about the basis of the socialist society. There were two groups of people. Listen, the two groups of socialists. The first group of socialists, they believed the idea of cooperatives. They believed the idea of cooperatives. Instead of concentrating in the hands of individual, they wanted to concentrate the properties whom among the cooperatives. Example, Robert Owen. He was a leading English manufacturer. Then he claimed that the cooperative should formed, or he gave more importance for building the cooperative societies, and he built a cooperative community called New Harmony in Indiana. Indiana, one of the state in USA. There he formed a cooperative society known as New Harmony. Understood? Then other groups, they felt only through individual effort not possible to form the cooperatives. For the formation of cooperatives, the government also should give maximum support. Clear it? The second group, they believed that only through individual effort, cooperatives were not able to form, so needed the support of whom? The government. Example, Louis Blanc in France. He argued for the formation of cooperative with the support of the government. Clear it? Then next, the socialists, they wanted the government to encourage the cooperatives and replace the capitalist. Listen, the factories owned by the capitalist. Instead of that, the factories and the properties must be owned by whom? By the cooperatives. Replace the capitalist and owned by the cooperatives. Then it was possible to solve the problems of the workers. Understood? Okay, the cooperatives, they wanted to do the work together and divide the profit among themselves. Who were the members of the cooperative? They divided the profit. Please see the chart. The two persons, then one was Robert Owen and another one, that was who? Louis Blanc. Did you understand? Okay, next we can discuss then the ideas followed by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. Who was Karl Marx? Do you know? He was a German philosopher and he followed the idea of communism. What is meant by communism? Almost the same meaning. Communism means what? The property owned by the community as a whole or the society as a whole. Now we can discuss the ideas followed by Karl Marx. Before that, did you remember that one of the famous book written by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels and published in 1848? You know that? What is that? That was what? Das Kapital. Clear it? Then next, the ideas of Karl Marx. Karl Marx argued that the industry society, that was capitalist society. So the workers made the profit and the profit was taken by whom? The capitalist. So the workers' condition that could not improve if the profit was accumulated by the capitalist. So they wanted to create certain changes. Instead of concentrating the property in the hands of the individual, they wanted to then give the properties into the society as a whole. Clear it? He argued that the workers, they had to overthrow the capitalism and the rule of private property. And Marx believed workers had to be free from what? From the capitalist exploitation and to construct a socialist society. Marx, he argued that the workers, they had to be free from the capitalist exploitation and to construct a socialist society. He was convinced that the workers would triumph in their conflict with the capitalist. If the workers organized a conflict for acquiring this demand, finally, then the workers will succeed. Listen, the workers should get the triumph. He argued that. And a community society, that was the natural society of the future. Marx argued that the communist society, that was the natural society of the future. We see that Karl Marx and his vision. Listen, his vision to make it as a communist society and spread the socialist ideas. Now, the next part, that is support for socialism. Clear? The first part, did you understand? I hope all of you understood. Okay. Now, then the support for socialism. In 1870, the socialist ideas that spread through Europe. Listen, the socialist ideas that spread all over Europe. So, to coordinate the ideas of these socialist thinkers, they formed an international organization. Do you know the name? That is the Second International. They formed a Second International or an international organization coordinate the ideas of the socialists all over Europe. Clear it? Then next, in England and Germany, the workers, they formed their own association. And in Germany, that association that was linked with one party, Social Democratic Party, and they supported the party, the socialists, they supported the party to win the election. And in England in 1905, then this socialist, please listen, the socialists, they supported the one political party and they formed a party known as the Labour Party. And in France also they formed the Socialist Party. Clear it? And they collected the funds. This association, they collected the funds to support the people whenever they face the distress or depression. And as well as they demanded for reducing the working hours and the right to vote. Clear it? That time all the people, they didn't get the right to vote. So the socialists, they demanded for right to vote and to reduce the working hours. As well as they collected the fund or they set up the fund to help the people whenever they faced the distress or depression. But the socialists, they never able to form their own government. But they supported the other parties and they became one of the major party in parliament. Listen, and they shaped the legislation, the laws, but they were not able to form their own government. The government that was controlled by conservatives, liberals or radicals. I hope all of you understood. Listen, then what did we discuss today? The first we discussed the spread of socialist ideas and the basis of socialism as well as the ideas spread by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels and the support of socialism. Clear it? Then don't forget, you have to complete the notes and send to me. Clear? Nowadays, very less number of students only sending the notes. The remaining also have to send the notes. Don't forget that. Clear?